I'm Nicole Williams, outside of the national headquarters for Scouts Canada here in Ottawa. One of its employees says for 4 years he was part of the team responsible for handling safety complaints within the organization. He says nothing could have prepared him for how traumatizing that work would end up being, and the mental health supports provided by Scouts Canada not nearly good enough. Now he's suing the organization.
Not much brings Stephen Greensides comfort these days as he talks about the job that changed his life forever.
I don't feel any self-worth or value. I feel like I'm a burden on my family. I feel like a total failure.
From 2016 to 2020, Greensides worked for Scouts Canada in its Safe Scouting department, responsible for safety complaints from youth and volunteers across the country, including reports of sexual abuse.
And it just really became focused on that. We, with the grooming, the predator behaviors, the violations, and the abuse.
The work included manning a 24/7 hotline, some cases too haunting to let go of at the end of the day.
He was just so full of heartache and stress and sleepless nights and, just constantly wanting to talk about it, but not really being able to talk about it.
Greensides has since been diagnosed with depression and PTSD, and he's no longer able to work.
I miss working. I miss having a purpose. I miss my life.
It's why he's now suing Scouts Canada for more than $2 million in damages. In his statement of claim, Greensides alleges Scouts Canada didn't do enough to prepare him for the job. He claims his mental health was irreversibly damaged because of repeated exposure in responding to sexual and violent traumas, and doing so with inadequate supports, assistance, and supervision.
There's the trauma of the people that suffer the sexual abuse, and no question that is the paramount trauma. But there's also very negative effects on the people that have to come in and clean it up.
Greensides says he began coping with drugs and alcohol, at one point considered suicide. And he says the mental health resources offered through his benefits were limited. Scouts Canada denies all of Greensides' allegations against it. In its statement of defense, the organization says it is transparent with all incoming employees joining the Safe Scouting team. It provides a robust extended health benefits package, which includes mental health resources like counseling. And at no time during 2016 to 2018 did Greensides raise any concerns with respect to his mental health. But Greensides and his legal team argue leadership at Scouts Canada never checked in on him either.
Should have had regular checkups, should have rotated him out. We don't leave soldiers at the front line for years on end anymore. We rotate them out. We get them treatment.
Scouts Canada wouldn't comment on the case because it's currently before the courts, but says it's significantly enhanced its policies over the last 40 years to better protect youth. Volunteers undergo rigorous training. They need to do a police check every 3 years in order to work with kids. And a volunteer isn't allowed to be alone with a child. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.